Hi Cooper, how you doing? This is Jason. I wanted to take a moment to send you a quick video to review some of the skills that we worked on in our last lesson. So we're going to jump right into it today so you have some things to work on and some things to practice with. And the first thing I want to do is just remind you about your hand position on your sticks. Make sure you find a nice fulcrum point on your sticks. And for me, on my Vic Firth sticks, there's a little flag right here about 1/3 of the way up the stick. And that's a really nice place for me to hold them to get a good bounce and a good balance on my sticks. That's called your fulcrum. So try and find a good fulcrum about 1/3 of the way up your sticks. Okay? For our lesson today, I'm going to be using these sticks. They're a little bit different. They do not have that flag, but I know if I grip the stick where it's red and brown here, where those two colors come together, then that is going to give me a nice fulcrum point, a nice balance point. So, and always remember to keep the back of our hand facing up so you can use your wrists to do the work. We don't want our arms to do the work, we want our wrists to do the work. So let's talk about some of the rudiments that we practiced and we reviewed the last time you were here. We talked about our single stroke, which is just alternating strokes. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, and also left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. So when we play these rudiments, I want you to use what's called a downstroke, where your hand comes down, hits the drum, but then it stays about 1 inch off the drum. It doesn't hit and come way back up, because now it's way up here and it takes a long time to come back down. So let's use a downstroke for our rudiments. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. And I want you to start with your right hand, but I also want you to start with your left hand. So right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. But also do a left hand lead. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. And there you go. So I'd like you to pick a good tempo, which is, about 60 beats per minute would be good, and practice your single strokes at 60 beats per minute. If you find that that's a little too easy, then you can move it up to maybe 65 or move it up to 70 beats per minute and try to play along with the click that you hear. So let's talk about the single stroke 4 now. The single stroke 4 has 4 notes in it. The first 3 we call a triplet, 1, 2, 3, or triplet. And the fourth one is a downbeat. And the downbeat is an accent, which means it's a little bit louder. So to play that, I'm going to start with a right hand lead. I'm going to play right, left, left. And you notice the last left is a little bit louder. Right, left, 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 right, left. And you can also do that with a left hand lead. Left, right, 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 left, right. So that is a single stroke 4. 4 beats. It's a triplet. The 1, 2, 3 is called a triplet, and then you have a downbeat. So I'd like you to practice that one as well at about 60 beats per minute, and then gradually increase your speed until you find something that is easy enough to do, but that is maybe a little bit challenging as well. Okay? So the next one, the last rudiment, is the double stroke. Now on the double stroke, that's 2 bounces on each hand. 2 bounces on each hand. So it's going to be right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. I also want you to practice left-handed leads. Left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right. And again, use those down strokes so that the stick doesn't bounce way up high. Hit it and then keep your stick low so it's ready for the next time it needs to hit the drum. I'd like you to pick about a tempo at about 60 beats a minute and gradually increase your speed to where it's easy enough for you to do, but maybe a little bit challenging. So it could be something like this. Right, right, left, left, right, right. So gradually increase your speed until you get to a point where It's a little bit difficult, a little challenging for you, and then keep it there and try and practice it at that speed, because that's going to develop those muscles in your arms and allow you to become that much better. So that is your double stroke. So you've got those 3 rudiments. I will send those links to you again so you have them. And then let's talk a little bit about our theory. Now, we talked about 2 different types of notes. We talked about 8th notes and 16th notes in our last lesson. And we were starting to put those together to play different lines of written music. So for the 8th notes, we used the fruit apple. We said apple. So every time you hit 2 8th notes, apple, 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 apple. So you can play and say the word apple at the same time. It will remind you that that is the way that that is played. Apple, 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 apple. And for 16th notes, we said watermelon. That's 4 syllables, which is 4 notes. Watermelon, watermelon. And then we started to put them together in different combinations. Apple, watermelon, apple, watermelon, apple, 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 watermelon. So our theory practice today was to put together 8th notes and 16th notes and to play a line of written music. Remember, 16th notes have 2 lines at the very top that connect all the notes. 8th notes only have 1 line that connect the notes. So I'm going to send the theory to you, and you can practice that at home as well. Now, the last thing we talked about was the drum beat. Now, the drum groove we were working on is just our basic 8th note drum beat. And we also talked about how to change the bass drum to add an extra note just to give it a little more flavor. A flavor is a word you'll hear me use a lot. Flavor just means it makes it a little more interesting. So our basic rock beat sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The extra added flavor that we played last time was putting an extra bass drum note on the and of 3. So if you listen carefully, I will count it and play it at the same time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1. So that was the beat that I wanted you to work on. That was the last beat that we were working on, and hopefully you get a chance to practice that and keep on playing. The more you play, the more you practice, the better you'll get. Look forward to seeing you during our next lesson, Cooper. Take care. Bye-bye.